Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Vrinda.
Hare Krishna Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, all glories Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Bali.
Hare Krishna Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Induleka Karna Devi Dasi from Lincoln.
Hare Krishna Induleka Karuna Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and the assembled devotees. This is Revati from Atlanta, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Revati Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna. I welcome all of you once again. Thank you everyone for joining today's Bhakti Sangha conference call on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, verse 6.18.62 to 71. Today we are really fortunate to have His Grace Samik Rishi Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna.
Mataji, we can do introduction. It's okay.
Yeah. Before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to hand over the call to Tiffany Mataji for the brief introduction on Prabhuji Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This morning, we are so very fortunate to have with us His Grace Samik Rishi Prabhuji. Prabhuji is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Being a doctor by profession, he has done immense services for the devotee community and served the society by donating many projects. For the propagation of Krishna consciousness, Prabhuji was instrumental in purchasing a house for the Bhaktivedanta Institute, an office for Bhakti Godhead magazine, and donated the very beautiful Sri Sri Radha Surad Bihari deities to the ISKCON temple in Philadelphia in the early 80s. In the early 90s, Prabhuji was key in taking the initiative to construct a new home for Sri Sri Radha Damodar in Gita Nagari. His Grace Samik Rishi also served as temple president of ISKCON New Jersey from 1996 to 2010, and he started Every Town and Village Trust, funded by his own life savings and earnings to serve Srila Prabhupada and ISKCON in various ways. A few years ago, he embarked on a project called the Krishna Mini Temple, in which 3,000 mini temples were produced that included deities as well as a place for Srila Prabhupada's books. For the last several years, he has been serving Srila Prabhupada's mission as a traveling preacher, visiting various places in India, various other countries, and he also regularly shares Krishna Katha on various conference calls. He is an initiating ISKCON guru, and currently Prabhuji's main focus is developing ISKCON Kargon Nava Vrajdam, a 50-acre temple complex and community in Madhya Pradesh, to serve the worldwide devotee community. You can get more information on his project at everytownandvillage.org. Hare Krishna, welcome to the call, Prabhu. So lovely to see you.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for that brief introduction. You can take over the call, Prabhuji. Please accept all of our humble obeisances. We are really fortunate to hear from you today. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Om Agyantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमो महावदनाय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरत्विषे नमः वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णा पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैस्तिकी ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय गौर भक्त वृंद की जय थैंक्स फॉर गिविंग मी अपॉर्चुनिटी टू स्पीक ऑन वर्सेस फ्रॉम श्रीमद् भागवतम सो विल बी रीडिंग श्रीमद् भागवतम कैंटो 6 chapter 18 text number 62 to 71. This topic is Diti was to kill Indra, and the reason, just little bit background before I go into the verse, that one of the daughter Daksha named Diti. So Diti, she was married to Kashyap Muni and gave birth to the demons like Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. She also gave birth to 49 Marutas who became demigods. So although she gave birth to demons like Hiranyakashipu, but Maruts, they became demigods along with Indra. And how that became, so that was the question of Parikshit Maharaj to Sukdev Goswami, that what does it mean, how it happened. So when her two sons, this Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, were killed by Lord Vishnu to help Indra. So Indra was the main for saving the Indra. Indrayani Indrani Vyakulam Loke Mradayanti Yuge Yuge. Because he was appointed, Indra was appointed by Vishnu, then he like to protect him, his position. But now, because of this demons like this, Indra became very, very strong after drinking the nectar. So now this mother of the demons, that is the Diti, she was overwhelmed with lamentation and anger. So Diti contemplated that Indra is cruel, hard-hearted, sinful, and sense-enjoyer. So he is the killer of his brothers, one who enviously kills others, because this Hiranyakashipu were also brothers. Because one was, these two were born from Diti, and Aditi, that is the co-wife of Kashyap, Kashyap Muni is another wife, Aditi. Adityas were born, and from Ditis, Daityas were born. So she thought that it is Indra who has enviously got ushered all the position. So I should get a child who could kill Indra. So I wish to have a son who can remove Indra's pride. Thinking the Diti began to constantly serve Kashyap Muni with humility, self-control, sweet words. So, though learned, Kashyap was captivated by her artificial behavior. Her behavior was to just attract the attention of Kashyap Muni, so they could have they could unite and produce a child. So she could ask them to have a son that could kill Indra. So, though learned, Kashyap was captivated by her artificial behavior and assured to fulfill her desire. Diti then requested Kashyap, I want an immortal son who will kill Indra, the killer of my two sons. Hearing Diti's request, Kashyap lamented, alas, I was surely now she said that he will fulfill her all the desires. Now he is bound up by his own words. I will surely fall down to hell. My promise to give her a benediction should not be violated, and also Indra should not be killed. So Kashyap then employed a special uh, means to meet both ends. That's to save Indra and also to have a son that he will. So he instructed Diti about the rules of Unshavan Vrata. So don't harm or curse anyone, don't speak lies or touch impure things, worship cows, brahmanas. In this way, Lakshmi and the Supreme Lord, if you perform this ceremony without violation for 1 year, you will give birth to a son who will kill Indra. Indirectly, Kashyap, by trickery of words, implied that Diti would get sons who would follow Indra. So there is another way that who will follow Indra. So he fulfilled the desire of her son, of his wife, but at the same time that he will have a son who will become a friend. Her sons, he got 49 sons. So in this way, he because he was worshipping Vishnu. I mean, Deity was worshipping Vishnu, her whole continuous year. So her mind was purified. And so if one is in Krishna consciousness, then they all are purified in her heart and they don't have any envious nature, they become pure devotees. So that is some total of this previous, how this thing came. So we will read text number 62. Chakartha sapradhadarva brajena kanaka pravam rudantam sapradhaikaikam marodhiriti tan punaha. After entering Diti's home, Indra, with the help of his thunderbolt, cut into 7 pieces her embryo, which appeared like glowing gold in 7 places. 7 different living beings began crying. Indra told them, do not cry. And then he cut each of them into 7 pieces again. So even giving assurance that don't cry, then he again cut the 7. So what this happened? That sometime one day, Diti did not wash her mouth or hands after taking some prasad in the evening time. And so seeing this, because she was so much tired from the vrat, and so he entered through her mouth along with in a smaller form, because in the yogi also they could change the form. So he entered along with his vajra and went in the womb, Diti. So when he went into the womb, then with his mystic powers and yogic powers, through this vajra, sharp edge of the vajra, he cut the womb, that bhroon or embryo, into 7 pieces. And the 7 pieces, so it became bigger. The womb was very small. In the womb, the child was very, very small, but he grew up, he cut him into 7 pieces, and then the 7 children were crying. And then when they were crying, then Indra said that please don't cry, I will not harm you in some way or another. But he again cut them into 7 another pieces. So 7 times 7. Each one of them was cut into 7 pieces. So there was 49 embryos were growing, and in embryos it is the soul. Whenever these things happen, like one becomes many or 2 or 3, then another soul enters. Without soul, nothing can grow, nothing can. It's a dead substance. So soul is there everywhere. So the soul entered into the womb of this all 49. First into the 7, and then again into the each one had one soul was there. Another way, so out of 49, another souls they entered. That was 42 that entered into the womb, and then they were become all alive. And But because her mind was purified, there was no envy. And Indra also was not very envious. Now we saw that I have 7 brothers who will follow him. Maruts, that is the air, pranavayu. There are 49 kinds of air that circulates into the body. So that is done by these demigods, Maruts. And so they became. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is remarking how this, that Indra by his yogic power, first expanded his body, the body of the one Marut into 7. And then when he cut each one of 7 parts of the original body into pieces, there were 49. When each body was cut into 7, other living entities entered the new bodies, and thus they were like plants, which became separate entities when cut into various parts and planted on a hill. The first body was one, and when it was cut into many pieces, many other living entities entered the new bodies. So that is the process, that how it's not that even many earthworms are cut into pieces and they become 2 or 3, or they all, plants also have so many. When you have one, like say you are growing, say wheat, then the wheat plant would have so many another weeds, and they all are capable of producing. So whenever that is put into the ground, then the soul enters. Whenever there is a copulation or Garbhadhan Sanskar, then it is in one of the sperm, there is always a soul which enters into the ovum, and then they unite and amalgamate together, and then they grow. So not that all semen may have in one drop, maybe millions of sperms, but not at all are capable of producing. They're all finished, but except one who will enter, or 2, depends on whether there are twins or three children, triplets or quadruplets, or in that way. And they are all have the soul and they have capacity to grow. Jiva means one who is alive. Just the soul itself, but Jiva, so soul in the spiritual kingdom, it expands and then it becomes bigger, but otherwise the soul is very, very tiny, 1/10,000th part of the tip of the hair. So text number 63. Tamochuhu patyamanaste sarve pranjalayo nrapa kimna indrajigansasi bratro marutas tava. O king, being very much aggrieved, they pleaded to Indra with folded hands, saying, "Dear Indra, we are the Maruts, we are brothers. Why are you trying to kill us?" Thus he wanted to kill from 1 to 7, 7 to 49. When the Indra saw that actually they were his devoted followers, he said to them, "If you are all my brothers, you have nothing more to fear from me." So what that now, just a little bit commentary by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. A single Jew can expand his body into 59 parts for a short time, like a yogi can expand. So were they all single body and they expanded into 49, or the someone else, but that is for a short time, enjoying a lot of both piety and sin. So but they were for a long time, they were demigods. So it's not a one yogis transforming into 49. Knowing the future even, 49 jivas entered into one body. That's what is in the purport. And then entered each of the 49 parts when they were cut by Indra. And another explanation is 48 more jivas entered each of the other parts of the moment. Indra divided the one fetus, just as separate jivas enter each branch. When a person cuts branches of a tree, like you cut a branch and then put it on the ground and it also grows, but then another jiva soul enters immediately. And this is all done by various demigods and but it is under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ultimately it is Krishna. So Krishna, Mamai Vansho Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. It is all done by Krishna, not any jiva or anybody can do that. Even when you grow, like see, there are like they put a leaf or anything and they have tissue cultures, but in the culture also the soul enters in that way. It is by the mercy of the Lord that he allows to do that, to prepare propagation. He gave a pleasure sensation for propagation, not for any other reason. That way the population could continue. So text number 64, the 65. Namamar Ditir Garbha Srinivasanukampaya Bahuda Kulisha Shushno Dronyasтрena Yatha Bhavan. Sukadeva Goswami said, my dear King Parikshit, you were burned by the Brahmastra of Ashwatthama, but when Lord Krishna entered the womb of your mother, you were saved. Similarly, although the one embryo was cut into 49 pieces by the thunderbolt of Indra, they were all saved by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is very important, how Krishna is very compassionate, very kind, and he let the Jiva soul take form, shape, and like Parikshit Maharaj saw, he was saved by the Brahmastra of Ashwatthama, and he was there all the time to guard, because Brahmastra wanted to enter into the target to kill Ashwatthama, to kill Parikshit Maharaj, Uttaras, in the womb of the Uttara, but Krishna protected him, and he was there for almost more than 9 months. And when he came out, then Brahmastra returned by the Sudarshan Chakra's power. He saw he cannot do anything. He returned back. But when he was born, he was looking, who was that person that I was seeing him in the womb? So his name was given Parikshit. He was examining. Parikshit means examining, and to look for Krishna. And we should also be examining. Krishna is everywhere, and we can look also. Everything is done by Krishna. But we have to have a Pramanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Radeshu Vilopayam. If our heart is pure, then we can see Krishna face to face. Yam Shyama Sundar Ananta Gunaswarupam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So that is by the mercy. Now 66 and 67. Sakradistvadi Purusham Purusho Yati Samyatam Samvatsaram Kinchi Dunam Ditya Yadhari Dharir Archita. Text number 67. Sajurindrena Panchaksha Devaste Maruto Abhavan Pohya Matra Doshante Harina Somapakrata. The one worship. If one worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the original person, even once, he receives the benefit of being promoted to the spiritual world and possessing the same bodily features of Vishnu. That is Sarupya Mukti. Diti worshipped Lord Vishnu for almost 1 year, adhering to a great vow. Because of such strength in spiritual life, the 49 Maruts were born. How then it is wonderful that the Maruts, although born from the womb of Diti, became equal to the demigods by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord's mercy, they all become demigods. That is because she was worshipping Vishnu. And anyone who comes to Vishnu, then naturally they become all pious. Means all the qualities of demigods are there in a devotee who chants the holy name of the Lord. But one who is materially very opulent, very beautiful, very learned, everything just like Ravan, but it does not matter what matter. They are demons. So there are only 2 classes of them. One is demigods who worships Krishna, who accepts Krishna as the Samam Bonam, and another one is demons, asuras. So one who don't accept Vishnu, then they are all asuras. But whoever they may be, doesn't matter. Whatever material qualification that they have, they become, they are called or labeled as asuras. Because we are part and parcel of Krishna. If we don't accept him as all in all, and he's providing everything, he's giving birth to us, he's maintaining us, he's annihilating us, he puts us into the Mahavishnu at the time of annihilation, and we come and start everything again, back again. But so it is all done and by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Although you may say Prakriti, that Prakriti is doing nature, but whose nature and under whose order that nature works? It is under order of Krishna. So text number 68. Ditir उत्थाय ददृशे कुमारा ननल प्रभान इंद्रेण सहितान देवी पर्यतुष्य Anindita. Because of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Diti was completely purified. When she got up from bed, she saw her 49 sons along with Indra. These 49 sons were all as brilliant as the fire and were in friendship with Indra. And therefore, she was very pleased that now in place of one son, there are 49 sons, and they are close to Indra, they are following Indra. So she was very happy because her mind was purified. Because of envy and because she wanted to take revenge, she wanted to kill Indra. But now her mind is purified, so she saw 49 children and she was very, very, very happy. Text number 69. Athendram ahatataham adityanam bhayavaham apatyam ichantya charam vratameta sudushkaram. Thereafter Diti said to Indra, my dear son, I adhered to this difficult vow just to get a son to kill you, 12 Aditya. So she's speaking honestly in front of Indra himself, but she's a very honest. She became all this honest because she performed vow for 1 year, Punshavan Vrata, and all the Vrata description is there. And anyone who performs this Punshavan Vrata can get the benefit whatever the desire, but it should not be to kill or envy or but to be propagate Krishna consciousness, to become a pure devotee of the Lord, not for material desires. Anything like even you worship, but still Krishna is so kind. He says that akama sarva kamava moksha kamo dharati tivrena bhakti yogena yajit purusha param. That you worship Purush param, param Purush, that is Krishna. Why? Because even you are full of desire or without desire, doesn't matter, without any desire, but still worship Krishna. Because demigods would give the boons, and then that boons would get either finished at the death or they may cause damage. Like Hiranyakashipu, he worshipped Brahmaji for almost more than 1,000 years, and then he was killed. He was killed, and his all military and everything was killed. Ravan worshipped Lord Shiva, and his whole dynasty was killed because their mind was polluted. They remain and they become very puffed up. But if anybody who worships Krishna or his expansion like Lord Ram, they are always in better position. They have all the qualities of the Vaishnavas, and Vaishnava are very, very so pure devotees. So there are 26 qualities of the Vaishnavas, and we will discuss about text number 769. Athindram ahatata adityanam bhayavaham apatyam ichatyacharam vratam etat sudushkaram. So, my dear son, I adhere to this difficult vow. And we read that just to get a son to kill you, kill you. So he is one of the Adityas. Kill you. Text number 70. Eka sankal Pitah putra sapta sapta bhavan katham yadi te viditam putra satyam kathaya ma musha. Mrisha means don't tell lies. You tell truth. Kathya means you speak truth. Ma to me, the truth. So I prayed for only one son. But now I see this, there are 49. How has this happened? My dear son Indra, if you know, please tell me the truth. Do not try to speak lies. So once you speak lies, that habit becomes to tell lies all the time. Always try to speak in a palatable way to the truth rather than then you get entangled into a lie. And to protect that lie, you tell another lie. And this way it is whole gimmick, or whole tana bana, or whole, and then you get caught up into that. And then you cannot speak truth. So better to speak the truth, even it may not be in your favor, but speak the truth. And that will protect you and give you more devotional service. So Krishna fulfills so many things in just one pastime. These are all the pastimes of the Lord. And Lord comes, he is there. So many things are fulfilled. That is just to instruct us and to get us attracted to Krishna. And So text now, the last verse is text number 71. Ambateham Vyava Indravachi. Indra is saying, Vyavasitam Upadharya Gatontikam Labdhvantaro Achiddam Garbham Arthabuddhirna Dharmadrak. Dharmadrak, that who has a vision of Dharma. Dharmam to Sakshat Bhagavad Panitam. Dharma means it is being spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sadhu Shastra, but should have the same opinion. So Indra replied, my dear mother, because I was grossly blinded by selfish interest, I lost sight of the religion. When I understood that you were observing a great vow in spiritual life, I wanted to find some fault in you. When I found such a fault, I entered your womb and cut the embryo to pieces. So he's also telling correctly because he was in the womb of, initially he was envious, he was seeing the fault and wanted to kill them. But now, because he was in the womb of Diti, became purified by Punshavan Vrat. So then his mind was corrected and he told the truth. Otherwise, how someone would commit and say that, oh, I killed your son. It's not possible. So anyone who comes in contact with a devotee or Vishnu or by chanting, he becomes purified. He would not tell lie. Means all the good qualities of a devotee would be there in the life of a person who is a devotee of the Lord. So it really, so many evidences are there that one should become a devotee. Not really just try to mimic, or one should try to become pure, honest, straightforward, truthful. So all the good qualities are developed automatically when one is chanting. So purport, when Diti, Indra's aunt, explained to Indra without reservation that she had wanted to do what she wanted to do, Indra explained his intention to her. Thus both of them, instead of being enemies, freely spoke the truth. This is the qualification that results from contact with Vishnu. So they are become truthful. So same thing when there is a big sabha meeting of so many politicians or so many big like G20 and that is happening, they should really chant initially. They should take the name of Vishnu and worship, perform some yajna, and then discuss honestly rather than hiding their intentions, and then they could never come to a conclusion. Prabhupada says that there are so many like countries, they have their flags, but it's all useless. They have to become devotee. So anybody, if you have a devoted life or devotional life to Vishnu or Krishna, then everything would be good. It would be like a Ram Rajya. Because politicians, they fight and spend so much money, practically more than 25% of the earnings of the state, and they just throw it into dump them. Going to this moon and other places, that is also, what is the benefit to the soul? You can't live there. If they try to go to the sun planet, they will be burned alive. It has so much temperature. So all this expenditure is useless. It should be spent for propagation of Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada also went with an agenda to see Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, and she would not listen on whether they made her. But anyway, that her hope that whole country would become Krishna conscious, and it would be like a Ram Rajya. They could spread. They would be glorified by all the other countries, and they will follow the example. So can I call you later on? No, I will call you later on. I'm giving class. Very good. Very good. I don't know why I cannot. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, we can hear you.
Here now, or I cannot see the verses and all that. So anyway, I hope you can. Just 1 second. I wanted to turn off. Hare Krishna. Mana, I am in a class. What do you want to tell me? Just tell me quickly. Hello? Hello, Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
Prabhuji? Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear you now.
Back. Okay. Hare Krishna. Sorry. So we were discussing nice topic that if one has a good quality, so let us read the purport of text number 71. Indra, when Diti, Indra's aunt, explained to Indra without a reservation that she had wanted to do what she wanted to do, Indra explained his intentions to her. Thus, both of them, instead of being enemies, freely spoke the truth. This is the qualification that results from contact with Vishnu, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. Yashasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchina sarvair gunes tatra samasate suraha harava bhakta shakuto mahadguna manorathena dhavato sabhahi. This is 5, Canto 5, Chapter 18, text number 12. Very important verse. Many times it has been narrated. So I will give the gist of that mantra. All the demigods and their exalted qualities, such as religion, knowledge, renunciation, become manifest in the body of one who has developed unallied devotion for the Supreme Personality of God. Unallied means nothing, no one else. It's a Krishna, or Ananya, no one else. We go to so many demigods and so many Babajis and make them Krishna. That is not the way Krishna wants. Many times, many times, like even in the 18th chapter 66 verse, that you give up all the religiosity, but serve me only. So Krishna wants, because he has that prerogative to say that I am the Supreme Lord. You worship me. You don't have to go to anywhere. You are my children. You are my Vanshu Jivaloke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. You are my Ansha. So go to Krishna. So on the other hand, a person who has Krishna, unallied devotion for the Supreme God, he develops all the Vasudeva, he develops all the good qualities. A person devoid of devotional service and engaged in material activities has no good qualities. Means he is asura. Even if he is adapted the practice of mystic yoga or the honest endeavor of maintaining his family, and people just say, oh, we are maintaining our family, we are paying the proper taxes, we are doing our part. What is the need of serving Krishna or God? Why the God has to be brought? But God is the one who is providing everything. Why don't you think that who is giving you? Who is giving you the body? Who is giving you the intelligence? What quality you have? So we cannot do anything without the mercy of the Lord. Or is super soul also is there, that is part of Krishna. So he must be driven by his own mental speculation and must engage in the service of the Lord's external energy. So either you worship Krishna or you worship his external energy. And that is the Maya. So Maya is trapping us. She is seeing that whether we have some inclination for worshipping Krishna. If she sees that he is qualified and he worships Krishna, then he gives her sikanja, so we don't become prey to her. So how can there be any good qualities in such a man? So living entity are my eternal fragmental part due to the conditioned life. And so we wanted to enjoy separately from Krishna. We have been given this chance that you see, but you cannot be happy. But people don't see. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukha Doshano Darshanam. We could see that there is a unhappiness everywhere because the birth, death, old age, disease, they are very, very hard. So we are part of Krishna, and there we should revive our original Krishna consciousness. They possess all the good qualities of Krishna in a small quantity. When one engages himself in the 9 processes of devotional service, that is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Hashyam Sakhyam Atma Nivedanam. One's heart becomes purified and he immediately understands the relationship with Krishna. He then revives his original quality of Krishna consciousness. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and there are all these qualities are there. This. So it is mean Sri Pandit Haridas is described as being very well behaved, tolerant, peaceful, magnanimous, grave. He spoke very sweetly. His endeavor were very pleasing. He was always patient. He respected everyone. He always worked for everyone's benefit. His mind was free. One should not be selfish and just our own benefit, but you should use, if you got because of their good karma in the past life, use the wealth for propagation of Krishna consciousness, book distribution, temple, construction of the temple to attract so many living beings they come, so many souls they could come. Not only when you chant in a big room, but because you chant, then many birds and reptiles and small insects and millions of, they also get purified. And they become human being very fast. And he was completely devoid of all malicious activity. There are all original qualities of Krishna. These qualities are there in Krishna and we have in minute quantity. And when one becomes a devotee, they automatically become manifest. Shri Krishna Das Kamera. So we are automatically, when we have, so Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Sadhya Kabudaya, Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karayode. They automatically manifest all the qualities. All good qualities become manifest in the body of a Vaishnava. And only by the presence of these qualities can one distinguish a Vaishnava from a non-Vaishnava. Krishnadas Kaviraj is describing in Chaitanya Charitamrita these 26 qualities. I will just take a couple minutes. Oh, Hare Krishna. So these good qualities, he is very kind to everyone. He does not make anyone his enemy. He is truthful. He is equal to everyone. No one can find any fault in him. Faultless. He is magnanimous. He is mild. He is always clean. He is without possessions. He works for everyone's benefit. He is very peaceful. He is always surrendered to Krishna. He has no material desires. He is very meek. He is steady. He controls his senses. He does not eat more than required. He is not influenced by the large illusory energy. He offers respect to everyone. He does not desire any respect for himself. Tanadapi Sunichena, Taro Iva Saishtana, Amanina, Manadena, Kirtaniha, Sadahari. He is very grave. He is merciful. He is friendly. He is poetic. He is expert. He is silent. So these are various qualities are there that automatically they develop. So, so one should try to worship Krishna and automatically all these good qualities means have in heart purely, and then all these qualities will automatically come in the life of a devotee. Very nice verses. So just we should just one verse that I will just give as a may everyone be non-envious by practicing bhakti yoga. May there be swasti astu. Ravindraswara Prabhu always chants this before marriage, before any good qualification. May there be good fortune for the universe, and may all envious persons be pleased. May all beings meditate by their intelligence on each other's welfare. May the mind become calm by practicing bhakti yoga, and may our minds be absorbed in the Lord without motivation. So this is Swastistu Vishwasya Khala Prasidatam Dhyayantu Bhutani Shivam Mithodhiya Manasya Bhadram Bhajanad Adokshaje Dveshastam No Matir Api Ahai Ahatuki. So thank you so much. I will end here. If there is any comments, questions on this verse that one wanted to kill, but by devotional service, Diti wanted to kill the Indra, but by devotional service, she became purified. And anyone can also follow in the footsteps of Diti and her mind will be purified, her children will be devotees, and they will all have the good qualities. So that should be practiced. Thank you. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I hope that we could hear where there was some obstruction in between, and so if there is any comments, questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you. Thank you so much for this very nice class. Prabhuji, there are some questions. I'll request them to unmute.
Okay.
Okay, Krishna Prabhuji, you can please ask your question.
Yeah, Madhavi. Thank you. Samik, Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dana Pranam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Nice to-
my namaskar to you.
Please, Prabhu, please take your blessings. Prabhuji, now, in one of the purports we were reading, you told that the people who are doing chanting, even if there is some problems in the regulative principles, that will be taken care. So, is that a sort of some slippage also is covered by chanting? Chanting can take care of that. What does it indicate? Somewhere when you were reading, there was some mention.
Chanting should be pure, but if it is not chanted purely, then gradually by the mercy of the holy name, you will get pure. But you have to wait for the time. Saha, Nishya, Dhairya. Dhairya means patience. So those quality, but if your motivation should not be to enjoy, to bluff Krishna and get some material benefit. It should be for purification and pleasing Krishna. Krishna's senses. We may like to please our senses. I'm not saying that you cannot please, but in line with Krishna consciousness. Like you have to eat
Keeping Krishna
prasada. Yeah, so you could offer nice bhoga to Krishna and then enjoy his remnants. You want to produce a child, then have sex life and produce a child, but you should make sure that you follow the Garbhadar sanskar and follow and give Krishna consciousness. At least try to give. Then Krishna sees that he is trying. And it's up to your previous life and what it is in your destiny, that is up to Krishna. But you try your best. So anything material could be doubted. I'm not saying that Krishna is against your sense enjoyment, but senses has to be purified. And in a purified way, you could enjoy according to the scriptural injunctions.
Probably you told about that you have to chant nicely. See, Nityam Bhagavata said when you're hearing Bhagavatam, there's a lot of attention. We really relish it. We understand and try to give the jiva everything we're doing. But the chanting, the relishment is not coming like hearing Bhagavatam. The laulyam, the greed for Bhagavatam is there, but the greed for chanting is missing point. I'm trying my best, but it is not coming like you're waiting to chant. But we are just trying to finish the chant and then go Bhagavatam. So is it that taste for Bhagavatam is also okay, or chanting also, and how to make the taste of chanting equal to Bhagavatam or more than Bhagavatam?
Both should be there, parallel lines. It's not just one thing is better than another. Both have the same effect, but not at one. You cannot, like chanting should be there. Satatam kirtayanto vam, yatantasya dhridavrata. That you try again and again, when the mind goes away, you bring the mind back on the holy name. And it may not happen in one lifetime, but if you continue do that, ananyash chintayanto mam ye jana paripasate. Tesham nityabhi yuktanam yoga kshamam vahami. That Krishna takes care of everything, but ananyache, ananyash chintayan, ananya. Because we bring so many demigods, so many people in our way of chanting, that is also good, or Lord Shiva becomes happy very easily. You continue worshipping Krishna, and then gradually Krishna will reveal to you. It is there, Krishna consciousness is there in everyone, but it is covered more or less in everybody. And that has to be unveiled. Until then, we cannot see our real nature. So that will come, it is there. I asked the same question to Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said that my mind goes here and there and I cannot put attention. And he said that you chant, that was, I'm talking about 1973, in met Srila Prabhupada in New York City. And that was an old place, not this temple, but old place. And so he said that just because you are chanting and by the strength of the holy name, you will get purified. You try to you do your endeavor, and Krishna will show his mercy by keeping us purified. So he will reveal to you, but it does not happen. It's not automatic. You have to make your own endeavor also. And so we cannot put blame on Krishna that you have attraction for Srimad Bhagavatam, but not for. That is also good. So don't diminish that. But also at the same time, you have to cultivate the other limb of bhakti, that is chanting the holy name. That is the priority. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. Shravan means you speak and you hear that. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. So anyway, Bhagavatam Shravan is not, that's also good. It's equally good. But we should have practiced Krishna. Because that is the Yuga Dharma. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that. So you keep Bhagavatam listening, that's fine. And at the same time, because Bhagavatam will explain the benefits of chanting. And you will get more attracted to that.
Maybe can be some prayers, special prayers to be made every day before chanting Krishna. Please try to give me the taste and please help me. Like that, we can beg to Gaur-Nitai and
Yes, you can. Just Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta. So that 16 names are so pure. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, he even had animals chant the holy name purely in a human language. So he made everybody mad after Krishna consciousness. So the chanting is the first thing, whether it is Madhur chanting with so many other devotees. So you chant in association of devotees in a holy places like temple or Vrajdham or
we're doing
something.
Zoom chanting. In Zoom chanting, we're doing every day. Zoom chanting. About 50 devotees.
That's okay. But not that you start listening to others and make in the mind some art or what happens when you listen to other, oh, he's chanting like this, she's chanting like this. Maybe so alone is also good, but if you have family members together rather than Zoom, if you are chanting in the temple together, that is a different atmosphere.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
Seek your blessings.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
I seek your blessings.
Thank you, Maharaj.
There
So
is
anyone
a
else?
Yeah, there is
Okay.
a request. Please share your collection of slokas that you daily offer to Lord.
Oh, collection of shlokas that you daily offer to the Lord. I don't have any special collection of shlokas that I offer daily. Just when we chant like every day or before Bhagavatam, Om Agyante Mirandash to the end, and then glorify the three Radha, Gopinath, Radha. Like we have Radha Madan Mohanji and Radha Govindaji, and you put back for them. But there are many verses of Prahlad Maharaj's prayers, Kunti Dev prayers. They're all there, and one can adopt any one of them. Brahmaji is praying.
Gajendra Moksha.
Yeah, Gajendra Moksha, that is also very nice. Thank you for reminding me. So you could have any one of them for the blessing of the Lord. Yeah, Gajendra Moksha is there. So he was in so much difficulty in his heart. He spoke from his heart what he learned in his previous life.
Thank you so much, Mother.
Okay,
Next,
thank
I
you.
request Narahari Dev Prabhuji, you can please ask your question.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Prabhu, I wanted to ask, is there a stage where, we know when we can be free from anarthas and at least come to a stage of being fixed in our bhakti? I personally feel many times I'm very unstable, like sometimes being a conditioned soul, sometimes there is a lot of enthusiasm and sometimes there is no enthusiasm to perform devotional service. So is there a stage where we'll be able to overcome this feeling and become fixed up in Krishna consciousness?
See, bhakti brings up bhakti. Bhakti sanjayate bhakti. So bhakti gives generation of bhakti. So you continue doing that, then no one cannot say what is that stage. And we read the 26 qualities of a devotee that should all develop, but it's not that easy. So you continue your sadhana, and then one will develop love of God. That is Raganuga Bhakti. So right now we are at the rules and regulation. That is called sadhana bhakti, in practice. And then when practice becomes more and more mature, by the mercy of the holy name that you are chanting in Krishna's mercy, one day you will develop attachment to Krishna. So our attachment should be Krishna, Krishna's holy name, Krishna's devotees, Krishna's prasad, Krishna's temple, deity. So all this in holy name, and holy name will reveal to you. From now, then you will see his form also will start coming, his qualities will start coming, then his paraphernalia, entourage, his dham, everything will be revealed by the mercy of Krishna. So when that happens, that cannot be said, and it has to be, you just practice Krishna consciousness, and one day that stage will come. But what day or when it will be, and your maker will do just to please Krishna. If it is just pleasing Krishna and not our senses, then that will come quickly. But if you want to please both worlds, you are putting your foot, one on the boat and one on the edge of the river, then you cannot cross over. That requires whole thing. Both foot should be on the boat and let it cross you over this material nature. So those things are, although on face it is easy, but Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made it very easily that even such demons as Jagai and Madhai, they purified them and they become such pure devotees. So if you read those stories, and I wanted to really read to that about Jagai and Madhai, but there was hardly any time. But Paramakaruna Pahudujan Nitai Gaurachandra Saba Avtara Sara Shiromani Kevala Ananda Kanda भज भज भाई चैतन्य निताय सुदृढ़ विश्वास कोरी विषय छाड़िया से रसमाजिया मुख्य बोलो हरि हरि. So there are many Narottam Das Thakur and what they have written, and if we follow in their footsteps, then that stage will come. Rajendra Nandana Sutta say Sachi Sutta Hoi ne Jai Balaram Hoi Nitai. So if we just read these verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita, very nice, from Narottam Das Thakur. There are Prarthana, that is very special book, and one can read that. Dina Hina Jata Chilo, Hari Namo Dharilo, Tara Shakshi Jagai Madhai. That how even Jagai Madhai got purified, and they become such devotees. Why we cannot? We could also have, but we should have full faith. Sudhrada Vishwasa Puri. And read about like Lord Nityananda, how compassionate, and they did not kill anybody, but they saved everybody. So that should be our motto, to save. And so Lord is very merciful. So we should have, why I said that, chant Sri Krishna Chaitanya before that, because they do not care about whether we are following rules, regulation or not. Krishna just said that you give up your religiosity. Sarvadharman Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Mam Ekam Aham Tam Sarvapapyabhyo Mokshayami Masucha. But how to do that? How to come to that platform? That is demonstrated by Lord Nityananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we should seek their mercy and chant their name, their glories. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed that how to come that Hare Krishna. So it will take Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara. Mosamo Patita Prabhu na Paivyara. So if we could just very fallen. And that's why Prabhupada also said that we should put this garland, Tranadapi Sunichena, Taro Eva Seshnana, Amanina Manadena, Kirtaniya Sada. And we should chant with that view that if we feel, oh, I'm important, I have done this, so mine is there, then you cannot advance fast. We are blocked. So I hope that answers it. Is a difficult question and it's a very long. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much for your guidance.
Hare Krishna. So,
thank you.
Anyone has any other comments, questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for such a beautiful class. Whenever you come, you give the explanation of previous verses and also you tell the present verse. Thank you so much for the revision and recap so that we know what we are reading Prabhu, thank you. And you answered very nicely for Narahar Dev Prabhu's question. That is very practical. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for asking that question. And thank you, Prabhu, for beautiful class and nice question and answer. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Oh, thank you for engaging me.
There is
Okay,
one
Hare
question in the chat, Maharaj. The quality of devotional service is also important, but how to set them as goal?
Can you repeat that question, please?
Jyoti Takni Mataji, would you like to ask the question a little bit clear?
Yes, Mataji. Maharaj, Hare Krishna, Danvat Pranam, Maharaj ji.
Hare Krishna.
You said in the previous answer that we have to be very, you said so many points that devotional service, chanting, then the prayers, everything counts. But we are doing that, not at that level which is important, but we are doing somehow. So there is need of quality in that every action towards devotion, right? So I am not able to understand how to set in quality as a goal like this. If I'm chanting, then this should be my next goal, then next goal, like that. It's not possible, because now I'm able to understand that the consciousness is like a very huge thing, and sometimes I feel that, oh, I won't be able to do that. So I think that the quality should be one of the criteria that we should be able to set as a goal. So how to do that?
By following in the footsteps of the previous devotees, how they brought it. Mahajano yena gatasa pantha. Dharmam to pantha nihata guhayam. Mahajano yena gatasa pantha. They used to follow certain role models and gradually do that. As you say, how to put a standard, or that we have to come to that level. It is all here, like I read those 26 qualities of a devotee, and gradually they do develop. That's a Krishna's promise, that akinchana bhakti. Then all the demigods qualities are developed in that, but it takes time. And so it's not a one by one. It will be revealed to you by your sincere chanting. These steps will be revealed to you, how to become purified, what is deficiency. And he protects, and what you have, yoga kshamam vahamyam. What is lacking in your devotional service, then he unites you that, and what you have already done, then he preserves that. It is by Krishna's mercy that we become not like a sincere, but Krishna that, oh, he has done this much bhakti to me. He keeps that, and then you start from where you left. So there is nothing lost, there is nothing damaged. That you may be a good devotee and you may apichet duracharo bhajate mamananya bhav. Even if you perform some durachar, not really proper, but still Krishna will protect you because you are properly situated. But people who are non-devotees, they will become envious, they try to take advantage. Then so a devotee should not become envious. They should pray more and more and should not dishearten that I have not become purified. You are getting purified. You may not know that, but Krishna is sitting and he protects our devotion. So we continue there. You say that there is certain standard, but a standard, it is the sky is the limit. It's not that the standard is so sharp, but whatever you could do from Kanishta Adhikari to Madhyam Adhikari to Uttam Adhikari to Uttam devotee, all these and Paramhansas and all these, many stages are there. Nobody can say that I have become perfect. If that is there, that is out of our ego. So we should not think that I have become perfect. Even Asli Shiva Padartam Pinustumam, even Krishna is crushing you, putting you down, but he is my worshipable Lord, life after life. We should have all the same feeling, not that now I have become perfect and I don't have to do any more perfect, I have come to the top level. There is never a top level, there is never such a saturation. We should continue engaging in our devotional service. We should never feel that I have achieved so much. That is up to the other people who what they think, or what Krishna sitting in our heart is thinking about us. But not that we should feel that I have done enough and I have come to the topmost level. That we should never think. You continue thinking that way, that you are very fallen, and pray to the Lord that please give me engagement in your service so I could purify my mind in a more pure state. then you will come to that level, but not to that there is nothing further. It's unlimited, goes on and on and on.
But Maharaji, is it not true that more we chant or more we do devotion, we see fault? I mean, I see more fault in me, rather I could push myself towards devotion.
So that is good that you see fault, then try to remove those faults. So faults are there, even if you chant nicely, but still you see the fault. We should see the fault in our Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Doshanu Darshan. We should see those. We should see those in our devotional life also, that I am not perfect. I want to become more, but you cannot become like Radharani or Gopis, but follow in their footsteps. Gopi Bhartur Pada Kamalayor Dasa Dasanu Dasa. So many of our exalted Vaishnavas, they are all Manjaris, and we follow in their footsteps. Rupa Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath, but you read their life. So, yes, we should chant nicely as far as possible, but we should always see ourselves as a very menial with full of fault. And if we see the fault, not that I have no fault at all. That does not, it may be there. I'm not saying that you are not pure, but we should not think ourselves out of ego, then ego will kill you. That I have become so much purified, I chant nicely, I'm doing so much devotional service, my whole life is dedicated to Krishna. But minute you feel that you are on a very high advanced level, then Krishna does not see that. He does not see pride, Krishna in anyone, whether it is Hanumanji or Arjun, his own dear friend, but he does not. Brahma was thinking that, oh, he's the topmost head, but he did not know that how many Brahmas are there and how Krishna is the one who is really all in all. Now you could discuss more if you like. There is some.
Oh, I'll take it like what you have told. Try whatever I am doing, I will try to do it.
Yeah, just there is always room for improvement. It's not that we are saturated and there is nothing more, or you set up some standard of devotional service. Devotional service goes on eternally. It is eternal topic. And even in the spiritual world you go, the same devotional service will continue. It does not stop, because that is our Swarup. Jivara Swarupa Krishna Nitya Das. To serve Krishna is our eternally, that is like sugar Swarup is to be sweet. So our Swarup is to serve Krishna by whatever means or whatever way that we are given, whether in the material world or even in the spiritual world. You continue your service.
Yes, Guru. Yes, Maharajji. Thank you so much, and eternally grateful to you. I asked in a silly question, but you gave me a really standard to look up to. Thank you so much.
Okay. Now, thank you for asking these questions. Okay. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Just one more hand raise. Shivakumar Prabhuji, you can ask your question.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, one question from today's discussion. We say we also have to endeavor that our efforts are also there to advance in bhakti, but at the same time we also kind of hear that we should recognize our dependency on Krishna's mercy. So I just wanted to know kind of where do we balance this? It seems, at least in my experience, sometimes I over endeavor, knowing that I have already hit the capacity, thinking that I can advance based on my efforts, where there is lack of expression of dependency on Krishna. Sometimes I kind of look for Krishna's mercy without kind of doing justification on my part. So kind of the balance seems to be a struggle. So I just wanted to hear your advice.
Okay. We should always depend on the mercy of Krishna. He's the one. We should never think that I don't need mercy of Krishna. We need his mercy all the time, at every moment, every second. Because without his mercy, we are nowhere. We are everything, your intelligence, your mind, your endeavors, they all come from Krishna. So we should always give credit to Krishna, not to ourselves. If we start giving credit that I have done, and now I don't have to do anything, it is all, then we fall down. So we should give always credit to Krishna and beg for his mercy all the time, not just for one time or another. It should continue even in the spiritual world, that we depend on the mercy of Krishna. We are what we are is by mercy of Krishna. What we are will be in future, that is all by mercy of Krishna. Prabhupada never gave credit to himself, although he accomplished so much that nobody na bhuto na bhavishyati. Nobody has done in the past and nobody would be able to do it in future, at least for whole life of Brahma. But still, he never gave credit. He gives credit to his Guru Maharaj and Guru gives to his Guru, or to Krishna directly also, you may say. So we should give all the credit to Krishna rather than to ourselves. And it is never satiated or never, we should never be feel tired of serving Krishna. And that is there, we have a material body, so you will get tired, that is there. But it is, but whatever that, Maro biya rakho, jo kichu ichu tomar. I am your eternal Das, whether you kill me or you protect me, that is all up to you. I am your servant, I am your slave. Whatever you, just like a cow bought by somebody, then whether you feed the cow or you don't feed the cow, whether you give, she never protests. She never says, why did you buy me? I was very nice there. Now you are the protector. So Krishna is our protector. Krishna is our maintainer. Krishna takes care of us, and we should always give credit to Krishna. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Shukakar Krishna Prabhu, you still have any question?
Yeah. Maharaj,
Yes.
see, this chapter is, I've been discussing only about envy, because Daksha had envy for Shiva because Shiva was a great devotee and he couldn't see his progress in spiritual life. Because of that, he was cursing and Shiva kept quiet. So in our life also, I know that Kam, Krodh, Mola, Mad, 5 things we can dovetail to Krishna, but the ego, false ego, the enviousness, we are not able to dovetail. So I know there are process. Can you tell from your experience with Prabhupada, how you got rid of envy? How you won? Because if you won envy, then we are close to Krishna, no, Maharaj, Prabhuji?
You should become envious of those who are envious of his devotees. If somebody is becoming envious of his devotees or trying to blaspheme them, you should become envious. That, what is this? So everything, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mada, Matsarya, can be used in service to Krishna. Even envy could also be used. And you should become envious that what kind of man he is. He is posing himself to be a great devotee, but he is not. So anyway, whatever it is, envy can also be used in Krishna consciousness. Like Hanumanji used his anger. We could have kamna, but in Krishna consciousness, desire to serve Krishna. Ambarish Maharaj he had desires, but desires cannot be killed. But desire should be purified to serve Krishna.
But Durvasa had envy for this Maharaj,
Ambarish Maharaj, yeah. No, but ultimately he was corrected. He begged pardon for his nature. Whatever your nature, that is depends on how you live your life. So it becomes a practice. Nature means it is already embedded in you. Just like when you start learning driving, you see the road and you see your hand, whether it is in the steering, but later on it becomes automatic. So nature becomes automatic to serve Krishna, to serve his devotee, to speak the truth. All those qualities will come if you make your nature by practicing. But that nature makes a practice. There should be some practice. Then automatically you don't have to watch the road and what it is. You could be talking, you could be eating, and you could still drive.
By default, the nature should come by default.
Right. Yeah, whatever way. Okay.
So if somebody is envious of other devotees, we can not envious, we can pray for them, no, let them become good. Instead of being envious, we can compassion and pray to Krishna that please remove their
we should always pray, yes. And don't become envious of them, or don't become like that. Oh, they are so low and I am so high, and never.
That become pride.
Right.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
So,
Thank you.
yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, there are no more questions, Prabhuji. If you allow, we can end the call here.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll pay obeisances to
Hare
Mother.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranama, Gurshi Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class, and thank you so much for coming on the call and giving such a nice discourse to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Jai Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Prabhupada. All glories to all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Besha kripa
Sophia Vacha
Titanam
Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha
Bhagavatam ki jai.
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 Thank you, Prabhuji. Koti
His Grace Shyamakrishi Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much,
much,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Wonderful class.
Gauranga.
Gauranga.
Nityananda, Gauranga,
Nityananda.
Gauranga,
Radhe
Nityananda.
Radhe.